Hi, I'm at 2718 South Bluegrass Street in Nampa, Idaho. This roof has been approved, I believe, for the front slopes. I wasn't positive if it was every front slope or not, but it wasn't approved for the back slopes. So I am just documenting all of this through video, so that way you can see my findings and you can actually see live what I consider to be wind damage. And hopefully somebody can look at this and potentially agree with me on my assessment that there is wind damage from what I can see on every slope. So I'm going to start on the top back slope here, on the left-hand side if you're facing the home, just so you can kind of see. This is what it looks like. There's only one wind damage shingle on this back slope. That's how I marked it. I'm going to show you here. This is the wind damaged shingle on the back. The kicker, and I know that it's kind of in the middle. It's not necessarily creased on the top, even though you can start seeing creasing on the top here. But what I believe took place is that probably thermal cracking happened. Unfortunately, what took place is that eventually, because it got so deep, it became wind damaged with the way that the shingle kept bending up. And if you look, that's where that shingle is consistently bending, to where it's actually showing beneath pretty consistently, and every time the wind picks up, it's lifting. And this is why I've clarified this and kind of documented this as wind damage, because as you can see, it's almost all the way across the shingle, and it clearly is bending and clearly is moving with that specific shingle. I'll move to the front slope. This one I believe got approved already, but I'm going to document it just in case. The top front, 3 wind damage shingles. As you can see, here's what the front looks like. You can see that the slopes are clearly threaded on each side within the valleys. And I'm going to show you the wind damage shingles really quick. You've got one right here where it's going straight across the top. If I lift it, that's where it's bending. And then over here, right across the top, this one is a little more clear cut in terms of creasing right over the top there. And as I lift it, it's clearly bending right there. And then last but not least, I've got this shingle where it's across the top. It's kind of moving down a little bit right there. But as I lift, there's the shingle as well. And then I'm gonna walk over to the back slope here on this second level. This is what I call the right back. Right over here where the satellite dish is. It's right next to the top back part of the roof. I only have one damaged shingle, and it's over here. Bear with me as I walk this very steep roof to get over there. If you look, it does look like it kind of starts here and it goes down. Not necessarily normally what you'd call wind damage. The kicker, of course, is that I do believe this is probably thermal cracking. I do believe at the top here, this is probably wind that has been hitting, but it's been coming down. And if you lift the shingle, here's the kicker. This is lifting pretty significantly. That wind is catching every single time that it's hitting. And I believe probably some of this is thermal that has turned into wind with how significant it is, to where the wind is actually catching it and it's actually making that crease much worse. So I'm going to finish really quick showing the front slope. I believe this part did get approved already. Got 5 wind damage shingles, pretty significant right here, pretty evident, pretty clear cut. I'm going to try walking down. It's pretty steep here, but if you look, there's 1 wind damage shingle. There's 3 right there. If I lift on any of these 3 here, you can clearly tell that there is wind damage across the creasing of each one of those. And then over here, I've also got wind damage, potentially thermal cracking, but it's bending pretty bad right there. Last but not least, I'm going to show you this last specific slope of the roof. This is just the bottom part of the front of the home. I think this maybe got approved already, but I'll show you anyways. I've got 2 wind damage shingles, 1 creased across the top right there, and then way over here You've got shingle creasing across the top right there.